What's up? You know what I mean? Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sandbox game live stream for Wednesday, July 21st, 2021. My name is Joseph the Vision X Matting, and alongside me, through the magic of the internet, he's a gift from the gods himself. He's a creator and buyer of NFTs. Alex Florez.
Hello, Joseph. How's it going?
How you doing? It's
Doing all
going
right.
well.
It's a
going
Wednesday. You know,
We're
it's a
hanging out.
Wednesday.
This is the first chance we have to be one-on-one together since your vacation. How was that?
That's true. It was good. It was good to take a break. We went
Very good.
camping. We saw some dancing bears. Not dancing. Performing bears. Sort of, yeah. There's a place in New Hampshire, real cool place. They take good care of their bears. Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Kids
well,
love it.
Alex, it's a Wednesday.
It is a Wednesday.
And each and every Wednesday right here on YouTube.com, Twitch.tv, Theta D Live, Facebook, and Twitter.com/The Sandbox Game. We play the games that you publish into the gallery in the Sandbox Game Maker. All right. We play these games on request, so feel free to request your latest published game or a game you've recently published in the gallery at any time. And we'll get it on your screen as soon as possible. If you're watching live with us today, you have a special opportunity during this stream. Feel free to ask us anything from questions about the game maker, maybe our asset creation software, Vox Edit, questions for our you see, I messed up. I didn't edit out the judge's little portion here. Folks, you can ask us anything else you want to know about the Sandbox, of course. We just finished up last Saturday, if you haven't watched it, an award ceremony where we gave away literally hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of sand and land NFTs, and you should have been there. If you weren't there, we were sad not to see you, but don't worry, this is not the last game jam we will ever have, but more information on that as it comes available. If you have questions for us that we can't answer live, of course, we will be able to answer it later. So leave those questions over on our Discord, our Telegram, our Twitter, and we'll answer them as soon as we possibly can. Of course, if you're watching this later over on YouTube.com, you may also want to join us each and every Wednesday starting at 2100 UTC, because people who watch us live have an eligibility to win a Wizzy the Blue NFT that is exclusive to these streams. Quantities are limited. They are running out fast. So you'll want to get in and get your chance, because you can only ever win one. And again, only to those folks in this chat. During our stream, in fact, on Saturday, we had a user who would have won the Wizzy the Blue NFT. However, they'd already won. So we just gave them a land NFT. No big deal.
It was a good day. It was a good day.
It was a great day. It was a great day. There was like a couple tens of thousands of dollars worth of assets that were given away, thanks to Seb. Totally had no idea that was going to happen. So it was a really good day for a lot of people who submitted games into the game jam, and of course who were here with us. So let's get on with it, Alex. What are we going to play today? Oh, it looks like you have something up on the screen though. So let's touch on that first.
We're going to get to that in a second. We do have some good questions in the chat though, which we can answer real quickly.
Cool. Great.
So Rob asks us if we're buying Sandbox tokens. We buy sand all the time, and Sandbox NFTs all the time, and land all the time. Joseph and I are very active in trading and buying and selling, and I'm active in creating and selling, and so we are deeply attached to this community, and involved in it, not just as staff but as members of the community. Question from Roy Goob: will the premiums from last sale, this means premium lands from last sale that aren't sold, be turned into regulars for this sale? So yes, anytime. Well, I shouldn't say anytime. What has been the case in the past and will probably continue to be until further notice is when there's unsold premium lands from a previous sale, they'll get rolled into regular lands for the next one. That's just kind of been the way we've been doing it. So there's no indication that will change, but it could change. I'm not in charge of that. So
in terms of some specificity there, there's no hard set rule that does or doesn't have to happen. So it's important to know that during this upcoming week, it may not be the case that the premiums from last week, if there are still any, will automatically turn into standard lands and unlock. Okay. That determination kind of comes on a case by case basis. So it may be that after this sale, if there's premiums from this and last week, then those whatever may remain would then get unlocked next week. But we'll have to see how that goes, and maybe we'll put a little word out to to get the feedback on that. Of course, if you ever have feedback, this week we are also doing something unique in the land sale in that we are going to have a queue it up system, meaning
Yep.
that you show up about an hour early for the sale, and then you'll come into the pool of people. And then when the sale unlocks, you're randomly assigned a number order for your position in the pool, and then you will unlock into the sale in that order. So, uh, kind of bursts of people by the 1,000 will have the opportunity to come in. So that's going to be good in that it's going to remove a lot of congestion, should help eliminate some of those like unnecessary fees that some people have been like losing gas on the blockchain because maybe they book at the same time as somebody else. So really we're looking to alleviate that. And again, we are always looking for feedback. So if you do have feedback, please leave a comment on our Twitter thread where we have mentioned this queue system for what you think is the most optimal system, especially if you have purchased this week and you have some feedback for us. We'd love to hear it.
All right, moving on to some other questions real quick. When Matt Game Maker, I'm not sure. That is something that's not really under my purview. I don't know if that's the right term. Oops,
That's a good word.
I broke Joseph.
You broke me.
There, he's
Uh-oh.
back. He's back.
It's a trap.
I I clicked on the edge of a window and broke you. So yeah, the Mac Game Maker has been on hold for a bit. I know there's a lot of demand to get it back, and I'm in the art content side of things, so I don't really have an inside view to when that branch of the Game Maker is going to be released. So I'm not sure. I can try to find out and let you know, but I don't really have any more info than that, unfortunately. I know that it definitely will come back at some point. That's 100% in the plan for things. Shoot Hotshots asks if I got an offer to buy my game, will I be able to transfer the whole game to another account? So if you have minted it to a land, that is a token. That's a bundled NFT that you can transfer to other people. So you could it would show up on OpenSea, I'm pretty sure, and you would be able to transfer that whole NFT with the land, the game logic, and all the attached assets all in a single transaction to somebody.
Yes.
That is my understanding of it, at least. Let's see.
And
Rewatch the
Clankers-
Rave trailer. Yes, we're gonna do that. So we'll do that real quick to give you something to look at.
As this gets started, Clankers says, "Will your number be assigned from how early you turn up? It is not in the order that you arrive. With intention, it is randomized. Right as the timer hits 0, everybody gets put into that pool, and it is randomized."
All right. So what we're seeing here is our next summer sale. We did the Pirates one. This is the music festival. So you can see there's a bunch of really cool assets here. This boombot is pretty crazy. I like that. Some really cool stuff by our Creator Fund artists. This giant stage that you can set up your events in. And this is just part one of this sale. Okay, I see what you're talking about now, Dan. That's a VHS tape or a cassette tape, probably falling out of them. That's what that is. So
Yes.
I didn't know what you were talking about at first, but that's what that was.
Did I make it? I didn't make it.
Did you make what? I don't know.
It says, "I like the beats. Did you make it?" I didn't.
Oh, no.
So what we use most of the time for our beats and backdrops is Epidemic Sounds. So if you're not familiar with them, you could check them out. They're commercially licensed sound provisional. You can use them on live streams like this one, or whatever you want, really. You can download them individually as songs to use them. But it's really nice for those people who want to have music but don't want to have to get hit with that flag on YouTube or the flag on Twitch or what have you
Yeah.
for having DMCA protected content.
So somebody asked, I missed. Roy Goob asks, when will the countdown clock appear on the map? There's kind of already a thing there. If we, I'm in front of it, trying to move it over. So there's this thing.
Yeah.
It's not exactly a countdown clock, not the one that we're used to, but it does say when the event is. So it's at 9 a.m. my time. I believe that's at my time because I think it's at 1 p.m. UTC is what
Mhm.
most of these have been at. So that's 9 a.m. Eastern time, or 6 a.m. Joseph's time.
Yep.
Over on the Pacific coast. So it does say when it's here, and then this boat kind of gives you the lead up. So when exactly this will turn into, I imagine it's going to change when the lobby starts. I don't know if there's going to be a big countdown before that, but there's going to be that hour or so before the sale goes live where everybody's going to queue up for their random kind of lottery assignment of when they
Yes.
can buy. So
And
just
then
be a little bit early.
real quick, also, Kirsch asks, is there a cap on how many plots you can buy in your 10-minute slot? So if you look over at the medium.com article, you'll notice that there really aren't that many slots to, in my opinion, justify that. We got 900 lands and 300 premium lands, 7 estates on auction. So if there's 1,000 people, the average person could get like 1.1 lands in that sale, potentially, if 1,000 people are put into that Qt system. So you can see at the top of that, there is an article talking about the Q system. So it says when the sale is live, 1,000 users will be sent to the map and have 10 minutes to perform a purchase. So you've got about 1,200 total lands, including those premium lands. So I would project that at least at this time, they're not limited to a number. I noticed, Roy, that as well, and I'll get a correction to this before the end of, let's say, tomorrow. But on that article, it says on the Qt system, second paragraph under Qt system, it says the first 500 will access the map. Whereas in the bullet point TLDR, it says 1,000 users will be sent to the map. So I believe it's going to be 1,000 from my understanding of this. But I am not the coder therein. So we'll get a correction to this article before the end of tomorrow.
All right. And I'm going to paste the link in the chat for the Medium article, so you can check that out to learn everything that's there about the queuing system. And I'm also going to share the Game Jam, or sorry, not Game Jam, the Summer Jam land sale. I keep on seeing Jam, and my brain goes Game Jam. It's you can tell what's been on my mind. All right. Any other questions, or should we jump? Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to show all of you. We had mentioned these, I don't know, like a year or two ago is when we started talking about these, and they're finally here. I finally got a chance to do them. We have trophies that we are going to be minting for Vox Edit and Game Jam winners. So there's a bunch of different types here, and I'm gonna see if I can I zoom in any further on them, or I'll blow it up. So we've got first place for Game Jam winners as a Ruby trophy, and we put the year on them. So we're also going to do the 2020 versions, which will just have the different date on them, and give these retroactively to previous winners. And then we've got the Vox Edit building contest winners. And then we've got Emerald for second place, Sapphire for third place. Then we've got the Editor's Choice, which is when the staff members can pick out a game that they really like from the Game Jam, or pick out something, because the Vox Edit contests are user voted anyway. So we do have an Editor's Choice for that. And then because the Game Jam uses a jury panel instead of users voting, we've also got a People's Choice Award, so we can have people go back and vote for their favorite games from game jams and give out those awards. And runner up, this is for the 4th through 10th places. So if you made it into the top 10, but you were not one of the first 3 places, then you get a bronze and amber trophy. So some fun stuff that we'll be getting minted soon. We have to calculate like how many we'll need for the whole year and stuff. So it'll be a little bit before those get sent out. All right. Why are you two so amazing? Follow-up question. Why are you two so gosh darn handsome? Well, beards do a lot to carry the handsomeness.
True. It's true. Beards are the makeup of men.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know this, get on it.
It's all in
figure
the
it out,
beard.
you know what I mean?
All in the beard.
Yeah.
We need one for Wizzy winners. Well, the Wizzy is the trophy.
The Wizzy is the trophy,
get,
yes.
Like,
easy.
You don't get a prize for winning a prize. I see what you're doing there.
So let's see here. Roy, by the way, just to clarify again, I asked like immediately. So if I get an answer on this before the end of this stream, you guys are going to know about the discrepancy on that Medium article, whether it'll be 1,000 people initial first wave or 500, then 500. But I would, like I say, it's my belief that it is the 1,000 number.
So Douglas noticed that for some reason our stream is called the Saturday stream. Oh no, I don't know if we can fix that while we're live. We are supposed to alternate that to be Wednesdays and Saturdays, but
I'll have a look, see, and if we can fix that. I was in a meeting earlier today that talked about some adjustments, but let's update my titles here.
Right. Does anybody want to show me their game? Because I was thinking of now. If you've been watching the streams, you've already seen this. But there's the game by Cyberdragon, which is Dorian, which I actually haven't played yet. So I was considering playing that. But if there's a game that you want to see that you haven't seen on the stream yet, shout it out. And if you shout it out before I find Dorian wherever it is here in the gallery, then we'll jump over to that. So. And you don't have to show me your own game either. You can, any game that you've played that you're like, ooh, I want other people to play this.
All right, I went and updated the titles. Hopefully that does it retroactively. I don't know if we can do it while we're live, but I tried.
That is a very pink icon.
It's Las Vegas, you know what I mean?
I guess.
Like, of course, yeah. I mean, it's just the city of lights or whatever.
CryptoCrafter. So we mentioned this a little bit earlier. There's not a date, an ETA on the Mac release yet. What I would suggest instead of using an emulator, because I've seen the kind of craziness that can happen with something like Parallels Desktop for Mac, trying to run Windows in an emulator. What works a lot better and may only be available if you have an Intel Mac. So if you have a one of the newer, what are they called, G1 or whatever, M1. M1? I don't remember what it's called. The new Apple chip. I don't know if that supports Boot Camp or not. But if you have an Intel Mac, you should definitely be able to install Windows 10 with Boot Camp, and it should run pretty well. I used Boot Camp on my MacBook Pro from 2007 for almost 10 years, and I was able to play Skyrim and Portal 2 and all sorts of stuff with that old laptop. Until it died. 10 years is a good run for a laptop, especially when you're running the wrong operating system on it. Let's see. Any Greenview Media has to make a game before it can be shilled. Well, it does work that way, unless you can shill somebody else's game.
Danny Basting, I want to hit on this here really quickly. They mentioned over on YouTube some feedback on the queuing system. Without a buying limit, it makes no sense, in my opinion, since it will allow you to buy up as much as you can before another batch of users gets in. Just my 2 cents. I think widely the community would agree with this. For this first test of the queuing system, we have about 1,200 total lands. So if 1,000 people get in, then it would basically be exactly like every other sale, except that people wouldn't have that accidental ability to how do I want to put this? Like double charge or double attempt to run the transactions on the blockchain. So with more and more and more users interested in buying these blocks of roughly 1,000 or so lands, we've had more often those situations where people will say, "Hey, my transaction failed on the ETH blockchain. What's going on with that?" Because there have been enough people to like double click on the booking in that same like second before the server could tell the other person that somebody else clicked it, right? So this will help avoid that by only letting in the 1,000 in the first go. But I would agree with you to some extent. So if you believe that it makes sense to just allow people to buy one land, then let us know, of course. Over on Twitter is the best way to do that, but nonetheless, I am going to also put it on our community management Slack right now.
All right, so I'm not sure if there's been updates. Oh, it does look like there's been some updates. So we've got numbers over the camels that are very easy to read. They seem to be in little, I don't know what those are called, little stalls that they have horses race out of. The gate, I guess, is technically what it is.
Yes.
All secrets are inside the pyramid. That is something we discovered when we played this on stream last time. We found all the mechanics hidden under the pyramid. Sometimes it'll have more than one winner. Well, I guess that would be a tie.
Not one. There will be a stream tomorrow/tonight for me before the drop. I've got it's a long day each and every one of these weeks that we do these sales. I am up. I have a meeting roughly every 4 hours at like longest break. During the from Tuesday night, like last night at 2 a.m. until the end of Thursday day, I have a meeting roughly every 4 hours or less. So yes, I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I just made a Friends reference.
I'm not sure why this guy's glowing. Oh, you can walk right through him, too. Is he a ghost? Oh, he's a spirit. I didn't see the name at first. Well, you shouldn't gamble so much that you lose your house. That's never a good thing. So we press here to start the race. They said that token exchange is upstairs and talk to the agent downstairs for betting. So I guess these are the agents. Okay. So we can place our bets there. Oh, now I see the exchanger. There we go. Exchange sand for 1 token. I need a free token for a fun bet. What happens if I press this one? Not available yet. Oh, that's true. Can I keep on getting more tokens? No. All right. I can only bet once. All right, chat. Who are we betting on here? Can we get some more info on these? Did we test out if we could cripple them? Be like, no, we can't attack them. Okay. We can't force
number 4. Yeah, you can't force a finish. Come on.
I like the sure thing,
Hacker man. Hacker man.
All right.
Clanker says number 2. What do we got? All right, now there's a tie.
We're starting with number. We'll start with number 4, and we'll do number 2 next. All right. Bet on camel 4, sure. All right. Now we need to start the race. And thank you, Jazzwolf. I did have a good holiday. Start with bird eyes view. What is that?
Oh, that's new.
That is new.
Do it.
That is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So we can watch the whole thing. I'm kind of afraid to test if I can move because I don't want to fall off.
Do it. Break it.
I have a feeling.
Can you move?
Well, I haven't tried yet.
You should totally try.
Yep, I can move. Yeah.
Oh, rip.
Well, I don't. There's not really a way to prevent that unless you were to put walls around me. So you
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
you
You
could
put a little
attach.
invisible hitbox.
Yeah, attach invisible walls to the sides of the bird. It's
That
a
looks like
scam.
number
The
6
bird
got
always
caught.
wins. Oh no. Okay, number 2 got distracted. Good thing we didn't go with number 2, Clankers.
Yeah, clankers or whatever. You know what I mean? We're just
Alright.
gonna pin it on you.
Camel
Bot.
5-1.
Pin
No.
it on you,
Number
Camel
1 in 3rd
5.
place. And I'm gonna say
3 and 4
4.
neck and neck.
I,
Yeah.
I want to say that 4. Oh, nice. And it teleports us back.
Felt
Now-
like number 4 was doing that.
Now, what I'm not sure about is how did we get into first person for the bird view? I don't know how that was done. Is that a newer feature that released while I was away and I don't know about? Because as far as I knew, you couldn't change camera types mid-game. Don't forget to exchange your prize before restart. Races. Well, we didn't win a prize.
Now you lose.
We
Better luck
lost.
next round. That's
Can
right.
you bet onto the horses? Well, we can't bet on the horses because there are no horses, but there are camels that we can
There are-
bet on.
Yeah.
Someone
give
gave
my
my
camel a carrot. I'm pretty sure your camel got a girlfriend. That's what happened there.
All right.
You
So
know?
let's we're gonna bet number 2 this time. Did promise that.
Yeah, I think that's probably
Oh, I need
likely
to
what
get
happened.
the-
Loy says maybe they put a block or asset over like your head or over or behind your head to give a forced perspective of first person.
You know, I was trying to find my shadow and I couldn't see it because when we were up on the bird,
Oh, that's true.
I could see the bird's shadow, but I couldn't see mine. But it may have just been they were overlapping. So when there is something close enough, you do, but you can usually see yourself like this.
Oh, that's true as well. Very interesting. Very interesting.
So we're gonna try bird mode again, and I'm gonna try breaking it and see what happens. So let's go to number 2. Yep, let's place our bet. We're gonna start the race and start with bird's eye view. All right, so I can't adjust. Yeah, there's no person here. Where am I? I should be at that computer. I'm not over there, although you can see the box.
Yeah.
I can.
you can see the
Oh, I
text
am.
box for sure.
So I can move, but I can't fall off. I think they
Okay.
changed the camera somehow, and I don't know how they did that unless it's a new feature that I didn't know about. Which is possible. You know, I was away for 2 weeks, and there's a lot to catch up on. I will tell you.
That's true.
I had about. Well, I don't know how many emails I actually had. I had 130 conversations, some of them with multiple emails in them, and it took me a long time to catch up on my email. And I'm finally caught up now. So, okay, we're not there. Can I attack? I can attack. Oh, that's cool. So if I go to inventory, you can see the bird flying away.
Huh.
And Camel 3
Then when you
wins.
Tab
Womp
back
womp.
out. You're that's so
And then I
funny.
respawn over here. I don't know how this was done. Just put an asset on top of avatar, and camera will change to first person. So it is like it's forcing it into the avatar, but it's I guess it's even closer because we're inside of an asset. Right? Am I understanding that correctly? I want to try this out. We're going to go to the Game Maker, and I want to experiment real quick. I know this is Wednesday gameplay Saturday.
He's trying to break his own mind. You know what I mean?
Well, my
Alex.
mind was broken. I'm trying to fix it now. It's really cool. I've never seen somebody control the camera like that. I'm just spilling water on myself. That's fine.
That's all right.
I know how to use my mouth to drink things. It's not a problem. All right. So we are going to go to global parameters. Camera is the default third person, and we want to create a moving object. We're going to use this airplane, and it's going to be. Oh, I didn't want to place multiple. It's going to be a bird, and it's going to have our respawn tag. And let's see. We're going to make I want a simpler block than that. Metal block. We're going to make this kill the player real quick. So we go back to global parameters. We go to player, controller, components, health, damaging blocks, and we're going to use metal. And it's going to do a whole lot of damage. Okay. And, oh, I forgot to set the respawn. Controllers, components, respawn tag, checkpoint. Okay, we'll just change that here.
So I have this suspicion.
What's that?
I have this suspicion, and it's not about the thing that you're doing,
Oop.
but it's about this wonderful NFT. Very nice. Look at that.
Just hooked me on the bottom there.
Hilarious when that's the flying thing. So I have a suspicion
NFT what?
that
Which NFT?
some people, I have the suspicion that some people join us a little bit later on in our live stream. Try to get in on that Wizzy the Blue goodness.
Oh, you think we should do a surprise at the start, Wizzy?
I just did one right now. There's a link in the chat for everybody who's
Whoa.
listening, who's watching, who sees it now for the Wizzy the Blue NFT giveaway. Okay. This is just for you guys. We're doing a little bit early because I have the suspicion that some of you are here for us through the whole stream. Some people might show up at the very end. I'm not quite sure, but we're testing, we're guessing, and we're checking, and we're rewarding people who are here at all time, hanging out, chilling, chatting, interacting, and having fun with us. It is early. It is early. It is early on purpose this time because I did it a little bit early last time. You know, we like to switch it up, as Loy says over on YouTube right there. We do not accept ENS addresses because it must be transferred using OpenSea.io. So it doesn't work with ENS, but regular address works fine. Let's do it. Let's have some fun, folks. Let's have some fun. I want to see those entries, see those entrants. And we are going to close the form in 7 minutes. Okay. So I'll leave it up for 7 minutes. This is a you had to be here moment. You know what I mean? Got Baldric 1 says, I'm really new here, trying to get my head around what this Vox Edit is. I've read the guides below. Is it a free program? So what Vox Edit is an asset creation software. It's totally free to use. So is our game maker. But what you can make with Vox Edit is anything that you see on the screen that looks like a character, that looks like an object, right? That has these voxel styles, you can create them. You can make all of the individual pieces of an asset. So let's say, for example, because I only have so much camera, you wanted to make my hand, right? You can choose to use Vox Edit to make my hand where it's one solid object if you want. So it's like just one piece and would only like move like this, right? Or you can choose to make all of the different pieces and components of a hand with Vox Edit. So you can say I made finger 1, finger 2, 3, 4, 5, and hand base. And then you could say, okay, now that I have all these individual pieces, you can animate with Vox Edit so that the individual pieces can move. So you can make the hand wiggle, you know, and wave and do all these sort of things, right? So Vox Edit is not just the asset creation tool, but also the animation tool similar to. I love that you're just skateboarding
I
everywhere
don't
now.
know what
Look at
happened.
slide. He's sliding. He's sliding. But you can see like this character right now, when it's in this kind of fall animation, it acts and operates in a certain way, and that's programmed by you as the artist that created it. Okay. So lots of cool stuff you can do with Vox Edit. It's always worth playing around with it. If you want to know more about how it works, you can watch the streams we have here on Monday, or you can watch all of our artists. Really, like probably a third of them have live streams that they do regularly over on YouTube and Twitch and things like that. So there's lots of different places where you can find out how to use the tool and make a bunch of cool creations. You can make all 5 pieces of Exodia, Jack says. Yes. Yes. That's theoretically. You probably shouldn't though, because I think Yu-Gi-Oh is copyright content.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
can't
You can make
officially
it
endorse that.
for
Oh.
you can make it for your learning purposes, but not for the purposes of sale, right? Right now, not one. Yes, Alex is in the game maker trying to figure out and trying to wrap his head around the idea of the. You were just doing the camel race, right? And you
Yep.
saw that on the stream. And
Yeah, it
then,
was called Crypto
so
Camels, I think, right?
yeah,
Something
I
like
think
that.
so. Yeah. So, but in that race specifically, Alex, the character that Alex was playing, chose to do this flyover animation. And when they did the flyover animation, uh, they were guided along through the sky on top of a bird. And Alex was trying to figure out how they forced the first person perspective, despite the fact that they weren't yet, uh, or normally you can't force a first person perspective. Normally, what would happen is you have to choose either, at least at this time, you have to choose either first person or third person. Danny Basing says, can you tell us more about the white parcels on the Sandbox map? They have OpenSea links embedded. I don't see any way to set that up though. Okay, let me go ahead and look at the map real quick and see if I can get more specifics for you. When you say white parcels, I assume you mean those that say on sale at OpenSea. Is that right? And I'll wait for the response on that. So I apologize that I can't. I want to make sure that I get this, answered as best as I can.
Huh. I can't get it to work.
Yes. Okay.
It's an
So
enclosed area.
specifically, Danny, when we code our smart contracts uh, from the UI portion of the team, right, that works on the website specifically, they are coding those to simply just be regular URL referral links that take you out to OpenSea. They already know what the object would be minted in, or for from that smart contract, and then it gets executed at OpenSea, where you do the auction finalizes, and it mints and gets passed to you. So as it is right now, a regular user can't necessarily do that. If they were to click on a land, let's say that you own, I'll see if I can find an example. You can have people visit site if you own an estate, where you can change it so that you have a description and you do all that kind of thing. Um, like they can click on your estate for any reason. You can say, here's a description, visit my site, here's some images that you can put in there. And it's kind of in the same vein there, the on sale at OpenSea. But when you own the estate, you can then change that to whatever you want. It just won't have the button on the bottom right that says buy estate, because that button is exclusive for the land sale operation, at least at this time.
So
SD World.
oh,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Alex.
Tron Jeremy was asking if if you're always stuck with a sword, and that is no longer the case. If you go to the global parameters and scroll down on the avatar menu, Sometimes it's a little difficult to get it to scroll. Sometimes it doesn't want to pop up there, but if you just try to keep doing it, it'll eventually work. And then after you get it started, it's usually just fine. So you can select the default equipment for your character now, which is pretty cool. And I'm trying to attach the bank to here. We'll make the bank visible. And what if we put the
SD World says, we see OpenSea on the map. Will they develop their game on the land? So let me see if I can find exactly the original position for OpenSea. I think that was in the second land sale. I don't recall offhand if they had their actual proper space or if that was on the first. Alex, do you remember where OpenSea's actual property is?
off the top of my
There's
head,
so
no.
much land. There's so much land. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out.
Did
So
I get it?
if you're
Ooh.
referring to just to be clear here, this was asked by let's see, SD World again. If you're referring to the lands in the kind of, I'm going to say north or top side of the map that say on sale at OpenSea, all of those are auctions that are sold to individuals like you. So those auctions, when they are closed, a user can choose to do whatever they want with their land. Most often on those larger scale spaces, people are going to purchase them and then realize that maybe they don't have enough time to develop all of the land, and then they may start seeking out artists and creators to help them develop the land. For your agreements with them are totally up to you. Some people are going to rent the land out to others. Some people are going to seek out kind of sponsorships to fund you developing on their lands, and then they'll just take the profit from that development. There's all sorts of different options that you can do, but in terms of the OpenSea spaces up there, that is not their actual plot. And if I knew exactly where they were, assuming let's assume that I could. What did you find?
I found it. It's
Oh, you
just
found
south
it.
of just
Okay,
south of the big
the one in the
Atari land.
Atari. Yes. So yeah, I mean, all of their officially owned spaces do get developed in the same way that the Atari spaces get developed in any of our other partners, based on conversations that they have one-on-one with the teams that help them develop that land. So we have internal teams that can help with that do so regularly with partners. I was sitting in on a meeting a couple of weeks back for Shaun the Sheep and their development plans for the space back in the origin. I'm going to call them origin, but the very first land sale there. And so just know that, yes, they will be developed, but it does take some time, of course, to be able to develop lands of all sizes, really.
Oh, that's closer. Why am I way down here though?
The
It put me under
Salbriquette
the platform.
asks, I had to mute earlier. Is there a problem with using an ENS for the form? There is, yes. There is a problem with that. They can only accept ETH addresses because ENS is not working via OpenSea.io, which we use for distribution, because Alex distributes the Wizzies directly from his account as he is the original creator of the asset. Cosmo, I got to tell you, my cat doesn't even want food. He just likes to just meow all the time. And like when I'm live, it's so frustrating.
Wait, did I delete? Oh, I deleted the respawner.
All right.
That's why it's giving me issues. We'll put it. Was it checkpoint? Was the word? Sorry, I derailed the gameplay day. This mechanic was so exciting that I had to try it out. No, it's not. Maybe. Oh, does this have checkpoint on it also? Let's put it way over here. Okay. Try that again.
All right. So I got a couple of things here. First, I'm going to answer this question. Well, I'll answer a couple of questions because we have some good ones. Greenview Media says, how much was land back in the early days / first land sale? Well, Greenview, in order to
Oof.
answer this question best, I'm going to pull up an Excel spreadsheet that I made back in 1997. Just kidding. That actually has that information because it's been so long ago, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Oh, I remember
It
how much it
looks
was.
okay. Round one cost of a 1x1 was
See if I can.
$28.80.
That's
And
the
back
full
then,
price was $45, and with all the pre-sale discounts, it came to like 28
48,
bucks
48.
for 48. Yeah, that was close.
48. So the how it worked back then, before we had a product, right? Before we had a usable game maker, before we had a usable, like well usable Vox edit, right? They were very much like on white paper exclusive ideas. A 1x1 was sold essentially on trust that we would produce a product, which we are doing actively, right? And even still now, there are more to go, but these pre-sales round one had a discount of, darn it, cat, 40% off on round one, and then it was 30%, and then 20%, and then 10% off until we got to the base cost, which is the current cost. However, during round four, the community said, hey, sand tokens now exist. And so we would prefer it if you peg the price not in dollars, but in tokens. Peg it in sand tokens. And at the time, 1,011 sand tokens was about $48. And so that's how we came up with that number. And now that it is pegged exclusively to sand tokens, and we have so many folks realizing like the usability and value to holding sand, to having lands, that price in US dollars has gone up, but it will always maintain the same price in sand. So if you always have 1,011 sand, you'll be able to have a chance to pick up lands in these land sales that we are doing. So lots of fun backstory for you there. But I had a whole spreadsheet that I was running for a long time at cost at the time. I'm not going to go into that. Anyway, let's just say that land total value is really quite good now. Let's put it that way. Land was
So
originally sold in USD Lucas.
you would buy it with
One
ETH.
second.
Uh,
Yes, that's
yeah,
true. It
you
was
would.
ETH, but it would change minute to minute or whatever, like
It
at the beginning of the
was.
sale.
Yeah, I think that the like 24 hours before the sale would start, the value of ETH would be measured, and then the equivalent of $28 or whatever the price was for that particular sale was locked in for that amount of ETH, and then the sale would start. So
Mhm.
a lot has changed. A lot has changed. The
Yeah.
first land sale was almost 2 years ago now. I
It
think they
was
started in
in,
like
I think,
October,
just
November.
was it November? Yeah, it might have been
I don't remember if
unlocked
it
in
it was
November
towards
of
the end of
19.
2019. I don't remember what
Yeah, I
month
think it
it
was
was.
late November 19, and it actually wasn't even sold out for some time, the very first sale. And
The
then I got in on the second sale that came in, I think, February of 20, something like that.
I think the first
Uh,
sale went fairly quickly, like a few hours. The second
was it?
sale
Oh,
was slow and took a few days.
yeah,
But
maybe
I
that's
might
what
be
I remember.
misremembering. But yeah,
No,
there's
that
just
that
it's
could probably
so
be true
different.
because I was there for sale 2, like, intimately, and sale 1, I was like, "Oh, man, I missed this first sale, and, like, I really wanted this, la, la, la,"
Yeah.
right? But then, like, the second sale was slow enough where I was able to go, "Okay, I want this estate, and I want to build an estate out of 1x1s, click, click, buy, click, buy, click, buy," and, like, I just built another 3x3 out of 1x1s that touched the 3x3 that I bought outright.
Yep.
So you can tell how much more popular we are today
Yeah.
with the product and the ability to design these games the way that you see them, the sophistication that they are. And again, we're just getting started. This is 0.6.5. We're not even up to actually started yet, right? We're still in early
Yeah.
alpha. So
I
yeah, it was
think
crazy.
it was in the first sale that I bought a 3x3 buying individual 1x1 plots. That's it's just weird to think
Uh,
about that now.
Real quick,
How
I want to answer this question because it came
Sure.
up here. Uh, Yuri MTL on Twitch asks, will a regular land be 900 sand? And the case is no. there's 900 regular land plots available where each one of those is sold for 1,011 sand tokens. Okay. So the premium lands with the bundled NFTs are 4,683 sand tokens each. So just keep that in mind, that the announcement there is to say that there are 900 in quantity available.
Yeah. There was a question that came in earlier. I don't see it on the log anymore. Who asked that? There was a bunch of comments, so I don't remember who asked this, but somebody asked how they can test out what they make in VoxEdit for the game maker. And that is something that will be available for everybody soon. We are working on making sure that that everything is in place to make that as smooth of a process as possible for everybody, and not confusing, and make sure that we have some ability to keep a handle on it without it getting out of control. Because we've got tens of thousands of users who could potentially start uploading stuff. So we want to make sure that we can scale to that effectively. So pretty soon, I imagine any month now, it's a question that comes up regularly with the staff.
Yeah. Well, I have a partial answer to that, Alex.
Oh, good. Okay.
Shoot. As of last week, my understanding was that in 2 to 3 weeks. Now, of course, that can change minute to minute, but we are close enough to that where I think I could say a couple of weeks out, you can be able to upload those assets, and then when you upload them into the marketplace, you're able to see them inside the game maker and test them. Now, you won't be able to mint anything at that point, but regardless, that update is coming very soon. And then Drago Personnel over on YouTube says, in the future, will it be possible to enter the games by clicking on the site's world map, where you can buy the land? So yes and no. The map actually is a zoomed in version of that with little preview images that are set by the developer. Okay. So in the case of, at least as it stands right now, most of our map design is like top-down images of what the topography looks like inside of a single game. But they can be whatever you want. If you want it to just be a logo, you can do that. They're zoomed in down there where you can have an image on the 1x1 as it stands now. But we'll see as that develops and gets much larger, we'll see how that optimization is when we're way zoomed in on the map like that. But yeah, it's a huge amount of content, so look forward to that.
All right, we're gonna do one more race. I'm curious to see how this looks from different angles. But after this, we're gonna wrap up the stream. What happens if we look in the direction that the bird will be when we despawn? So it seems like the camera makes the player totally invisible, to the point that not even a shadow is being cast. So we're gonna start a race. Who are we betting on? We've tried 2, 4, 5, and 3, I think.
Let's go with a winner, Alex. Let's go with number 2.
All right. Ooh.
Fun.
Can you set the visibility for the character off? You know what? You used to be able to. I don't think you can set the visibility off for a third-person view anymore, which for most cases I don't think you'd want to do anyway. But you can set a very small asset as you could set like a single voxel as the player character if you wanted to. And if you are able to access a 1 voxel asset. So you can set that. I don't think you can set the character to be invisible by default. But if you set to first person view, well, you're not invisible in first person view either. You can see your arm still. Yeah, so we're gonna point the camera over here. And when we hit the inventory menu, it locks the camera in position. How can I convert adjoining lands into an estate? That is not something you can do yet. It will be available later. I'm hoping
All right, I'm going to
that the
hit a
bird will be around
backlog
here.
of questions really quick, Alex.
Sure.
The Bowl Combo over on YouTube asks, do assets we upload for our lands have to be minted for the game to be published? Or just if we want them to be purchasable by others? So if you want them to have limited quantity, you would have to mint them. In terms of the experience itself, land is a wrapper for your experience, for your code, and for your NFTs. So if you have NFTs that you want to be included in that land, the NFT is wrapped in the land and then kind of consumed. It's not a permanent consumption, but it is saying, like, this NFT, you had one and it's used in this one land experience. So now you have none left to use and just the one you have stored in your land. Okay. If you never make them into NFTs, you can put as many arts and assets as you like into that experience for as long as they exist free. It'll work great and it's good to go. However, if you use someone else's asset and they do change it into an NFT, then you won't be able to have it like minted. And another note is that if you do have NFTs that you have created and you have them wrapped in your lands, you can change and use them as much as you want inside that game. So don't you
Like
only
the
really need
behavior.
right. Yes,
Yeah,
you can change the behavior as much
components,
as you want.
position.
You can have a million of them, right? Like if you own one Wizzy the Blue, you could have a million Wizzy the Blues on this map right now. Because it's just one experience. So your one NFT gets wrapped up to be in the experience as much as you like. Okay. So that is that. And then Kidzula asks, can you build an experience on 2 adjacent lands? Or does it have to be at least a 2x2 square estate to build on? So right now, Kidzula, you can build on any rectangular or square shape up to 4x4. Okay, so you could have 1x4 if you want, right? You could have a 3x1 if you want. You could have 2x2s or 2x4s. Totally up to you.
All right. Well, I'm going to keep on playing around with that camera forcing. Maybe I'm trying to remember who who made the experience. My brain is failing right now. Let me get the name here. I know they're watching, so I feel bad, but I I just lost it out of my head. I saw it earlier. Crypto Camel by Hotshot. There we go. So Hotshot, that's pretty awesome. I am still struggling a little bit to figure out exactly how you got it to work. If you could send me a screenshot to my Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter, send me a screenshot there of your setup so that way I can steal it with credit. I'll steal it with credit. All right. So thank you everybody for watching. Be sure to download the Game Maker if you haven't already and check out all the amazing games from the Game Jam. Most of them say Game Jam in the title. We also have the TSB Week #2 competition, which is I believe that's Andy Ritchie's competition
Yes.
for building lands. So these are things where they have like an hour or 2 hours. I think it's just 1 hour to build a land of some type. So you can check those out. Those are pretty cool. See what people are able to do in a short amount of time. And then there's lots of other stuff on here. Also, when you get to the real far back pages, some of these might not work anymore because these were made with much older versions of the Game Maker. But, you can always give them a try. Sometimes funny things can happen. So
Real quick.
I hope to... Oh, yep. You got something, Joseph?
Last thing, because I love this question and I don't want it to go missed. The Subriket says, can you make it so that only players with a specific NFT in their inventory can progress through a point in your game? So at this time, no. What the NFT gating system does right now is allow people to have access to play your experience. So you can set a 1x1, a 2x1, a 2x2, 3x3, 4x4, whatever, to say you can only play here if you have this NFT in your inventory. Okay.
And it does not have to be a
but
Sandbox NFT. It's any NFT link, I believe.
yes, yeah, that is the case. It could be an OpenSea NFT. It doesn't matter as long as it can be read through the wallet system. So it must be compatible with the ETH blockchain in terms of what NFT it is. But yeah, you'll want to make sure when you're inside the experience already. However, that's up to what code you put in the game. So you could absolutely make it appear like a section is exclusive to the people who have the NFTs, but the reality is, of course, that you're only allowed to gate at the dashboard or like a system that's going to look like the map, right? Or when they walk up to the experience, if they were walking from game to game and they were about to load into your game because they hit the edge of a different game, it may say you need this NFT to access this. Would you like to purchase it? Something like that. And then possibly you could have people go out to a place where they could purchase one if you
Did
had them in quantity.
did we say who the Wizzy winner is?
We didn't say who the Wizzy winner was, Alex. We got all ahead of ourselves. So over on twitch.tv, the winner this week is the mythical Yeti Corn.
Congratulations, mythical Yeti Corn.
Yeti Corn. You gotta love it. I love it. That's a great name. Great
That's
name.
a lot of avatar potential for that name. All
It really
right.
is.
Well, thank you everybody for watching. It is good to be back, hanging out with all of you. Make sure to tune in. Wow, my mouth just kind of gave up. Make sure to tune in on Saturday. We are going to be doing a kind of on-the-fly guide for how to make big boss fights, because we had that awesome one-of-one Kraken boss, but there's the large dragons, there's other big characters on the marketplace that you can grab both for free and already minted NFTs that you can buy. So we're going to try to figure out mechanics for how to make a interesting boss fight, possibly with multiple health bar type things and weak points and things like that. So that will be fun for Saturday. And also Joseph is going to be streaming before the land sale.
2 hours ahead of the land sale. So I'll be there helping you all. Regardless of the fact that we will have a queue system, I'm still going to go over the same tips and tricks that we went over last week. However, I will probably leave out the stuff about restarting your modem router and clearing the cache in your browser, because everyone, about 1,000 users should unlock right at the opening, which means that I would project that the opening is exclusively just going to allow in the people who would be able to purchase, and say essentially like let's like not have a flood of people that wouldn't even have the opportunity to buy. So it's going to be a good system, queue system. And again, we're looking for your feedback on it. So if you do have feedback, head over to twitter.com/thesandboxgame and give us your opinion about the queue system while you use it. If you use it, if you haven't used it, whatever it is, just let us know what you think about queuing for land sales and how we can make it better for you. So super excited. And I'll see you Thursday.
All right. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, everybody else. You have yourselves a great evening, afternoon, morning, night, wherever it is, wherever you are. We will see you next time.